In this video, we will proceed with our sculpting in Blender using images, which we also call texture or alphas in particular. So we started to experiment with different settings using the different brushes, so using different texture, but also changing the stroke type. And you can see here I've applied a logo on the forehead of this kind of robot or cyborg character. So just for this example right here, which I want to show you in the previous video, I show you how to create something more mechanic, something more that looks like a piece of metal and something more technologic, so something more high-tech. Now you can decide the level of curviness and hardness of your model. In this case, it's kind of a middle way. So when you want to do, again, like an android or cyberpunk character, things like that. And you can start to apply complex graphics. So we use the stroke, we use the line, we use different types of spacing also, and lazy mouse. And also we can apply logos and rivets and bolts and all sorts of graphics. Now we can do the same thing with the character that we are building up here. Let's go back to our main character, and we can apply this in the clothing, in the armor. We can apply graphics like icons and symbols. We can also use patterns. So if you want to simulate a particular surface, a rough surface, also we can apply like skin graphics and alphas. So we can represent metal, we can represent rocks, we can represent the skin, we can represent clothing like fibers, different types of garments and fabric. Now in the previous video, we also saw that there are different sources on the web that you can use if you want to get ready-made alphas or textures that you can use. For example, here we have some alphas from the ZBrush website. And ZBrush, by the way, it's of course more complex, and it has also a lot more resources and tools that you can use and features. So of course it's not open source like Blender, and it has a price, but it has a lot of resources that you can use. But you can also like go on the web and find more and more resources if you want. Now you can use any white and black or black and white image if you want to apply graphics to your model, to your character. So you can find many also in this case. So they don't have to be exactly alphas or alpha texture. They can be anything that is essentially black and white or scale of grays. Now this website here is called Raw Pixel, and there is a lot of free open source public domain graphics that you can download and you can apply. For example, we can use this dragon right here. Now the only thing is that it's black on white. We need to invert this, but we're gonna see this later. You can use Photoshop, you can use GIMP, you can use Pixlr or Canva or many other applications to do that. And actually you can use anything that you can that you know to create your own alphas, your own graphics. Now, once you understand the logic behind it, you can basically do anything. You can represent anything. You can represent veins, you can represent leaves, buttons, rivets, screws, bolts, and fibers like cotton, and also chainmail or a metal mail. And here again, you can find these more complex graphics like this flower, which is not total black and white, as you can see, but they have like scale of grays. Now in that case, these are more advanced and they will create more advanced effects. This one here instead is something really simple. It's a pattern, again, that I found on the web, just searching for. This is a like B, this is more like metal, rough metal, and this is something like rocks, concrete, but you can use also this for metal. So internet is full of images that you can use black and white, and you can also use displacement textures. Now displacement textures are used to extrude and create a bas relief effect. This is what we are going to do actually, kind of a bas relief. So really small extrusion on the surface. We will take an image, and with that image we're going to use it as a pattern or as a single application. And this is also a website that we use a lot. It's called Polyhamen, and here you find a section for the materials. And in the materials, and if you want, by the way, you will find video guides in the channel talking about Polyhamen and raw pixel and so on. So search it in the channel. And we can see we have a section here called fabrics. So if I select one of these fabric and I access one of these, I can find the diffuse and also other maps like the roughness or the ambient occlusion, which are black and white or scale of gray. And we can use this. This is a really fine texture. So it means that you need really a lot of polygons if you want to represent this type of fabric or this type of pattern on your surface. So you need to decide how much you want to increase the level of subdivision of your model. And then we have depth map, or in ZBrush, these are called Z-depth. And ZBrush also has tools to create this type of maps, which are also called sometimes height maps. But you can see height maps are more for like terrains, but definitely you can use them also for sculpting. So Z-depth, this is for ZBrush. It creates this effect. It creates like something that will show like the closer things wider and the farther things black or darker. And then it creates this bas relief effect. So check the ZBrush video course to know more about these fantastic tools, extra tools that we can use. But we're gonna use the features and the tools that Blender will give us. And you can download depth maps again on the web, like this one here, or you can use your own, or get it from any source. Now there is also an option to create your own displacement and black and white textures. You can use Materialize, and again you will find a video guide about Materialize, which is a software that will help you to create a bump or a displacement or a normal effect, which is kind of a bas relief effect, but starting from a diffuse texture, which is any texture, any image, any colored image can be turned into black and white. This is what we want essentially, because black and white is the information we need to create bas relief and extrusions and so on. Now there are also depth map generators and all sorts of things. If you want to create again your own, starting from a picture, starting from a model or whatever. In ZBrush, you can start from a model. Now I'm going to create a new document here real quick using pixar.com, which is an excellent website where you can create graphics like Photoshop. And again, you will find the course in the channel if you're interested and all the information. So right now I'm just going quick. I'm just creating a standard black background square image. And I will use this to show you how it's really easy to create your own alpha. So let's say we want to create some seams. We want to actually see the dash of the seam, which we didn't do yet. We created the seams using really small brushes or using dots, but seams are actually like little dashes. So what I'm creating here is just a standard rectangle, and I'm also rounding the corners, and I click and drag to place it in the middle of the seam. Again, if you're interested in this software, it has a lot of tools you can use. I will not show you the tools in this video, but there is a complete course. So look for it in the channel or write in the comments for assistance or questions. Now I'm gonna export this in PNG, and I'm gonna save it in my alpha folder here where I'm saving like stuff. So I'm gonna call this scene, and it's PNG, so it's fine. You should use JPEG and PNG. And now let's apply it to the texture of our brush. So let's continue what we started also in the previous video. So we start with the standard brush this time. So it's really the easiest thing you can do. This is the standard brush.